is a Jewish legend that begins with Napoleon Bonaparte walking through the streets of Paris. As his entourage passed by a synagogue, they could hear wailing and crying coming from within. Horrified by the sounds of distress, Napoleon sent an aide into the synagogue to see what was wrong. The aide returned and informed Napoleon that the Jews were mourning the loss of their temple. "How terrible! Why was I not informed?" Napoleon demanded to know. "When did this happen? Which temple?" The aide replied, 1,700 years ago on this day, known to the Jews as Tisha B'Av, they lost their great temple in Jerusalem. Napoleon thought for a moment and said, "Certainly a people who have mourned the loss of their temple for so long will survive to see it rebuilt." It's true that the Jewish people of today's day and age are far removed from the tragedy of the destruction of our temple. Jewish observance, ideology, and culture has evolved so much since that time that if we were to travel back to those ancient times, we would hardly recognize our ancestors' customs and practices when compared to the way Jews live and celebrate Jewish heritage today. And yet the destruction of the temple was so significant that it caused an inflection point in history that has since affected all Jews everywhere. The book of Eicha, the keynote poems, the daily recitation of Tachanun, even the breaking of the glass at a Jewish wedding are all born of the scars of that event in our people's history. The subsequent decentralization of life and worship gave rise to Rabbinic Judaism, a time when our greatest teachers took hold of the reins of leadership and rebuilt our very identities into the one that could be packed up into a metaphorical suitcase that could be taken with us to the furthest corners of the earth, where our 2,000-year-long wait in exile would begin. All the while, we continued to pray for our return, repeating over and over, "Next year in Jerusalem, if I forget you, O Jerusalem, let my right hand wither. Let the temple be rebuilt speedily and in our days. Renew our days today as they were in the days of old." Jerusalem is mentioned in the Tanakh 669 times. And Zion another 154 times. And despite all this, there are those in the world today who would deny the Jewish people the authenticity of our connection to our homeland. And to them we reply, you ever heard of Napoleon? Shabbat Shalom, and have a Tzom Kal, an easy fast.